This is not a test. Welcome to this week's commencement of GMP's The Purge Anarchy. Wah, wah. That's a siren. Wah.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's Guilty Movie Pleasure.
This is real creepy. Like, it's beautiful and terrifying in the context of this movie.
This is my extended family singing. Right now.
They're very good.
It was at our last family reunion.
Wow, oh God, cut it off, I'm gonna have nightmares. Hey, welcome back, GMP audiences. We are back. We took a little hiatus because I was in San Francisco shooting a little commercial up there, which was real fun.
I was here in an empty studio just looking around.
I forgot to text Jesse, so
what are we doing?
He just showed up. Speaking of, back as my guest host this week, Jesse McIntosh. How you doing, sir?
So good. How have you been?
I've been great. It's been a great, week since we saw each other. 2 weeks, I guess. Where can they find you real quick, just so they know?
Thank you. You can find me on Twitter at TooMuchJesse. You can listen to a podcast that I contribute to called 86 Charles.
I like how you said that like a question mark. I contribute
to? Because,
it's debatable?
The people that produce it may dispute that fact. Does he contribute or does he detract?
I think that all the time about this show.
Yeah, well...
Do I contribute to Popcorn Talk?
I don't know.
Anyways, what else you got going on?
And then you can also see me. I'm competing in a stand-up competition tonight at 8 o'clock at Flappers in Burbank. If you're local, come peep that.
Go peep it.
Yeah, that's
Go
what I got.
peep it. All right, this week we're debating movies, and I know that the Purge election year came out a couple months ago, but it seems still topical to do the Purge Anarchy, and I just love this movie.
It was surprisingly good.
It's surprisingly awesome.
Yeah.
Because just to preface this, I saw the first Purge because I love the concept, and I remember thinking it just felt like a home invasion movie, like a standard home invasion movie with a really cool world that's outside of the home. Mm-hmm. And I think even the producers and directors and all that have said that like the biggest thing people said about the first one is we don't care about this rich white family. We want to see like the streets of the Purge. We want to see like what happens out there.
And you really get that. And that's most of this movie is they trap people outside, basically, which is really what, like you said, what we wanted out of the first movie. We wanted to see what was going on, not how people are preventing people from getting in.
This legitimately did exactly what I wanted because I remember leaving the theater and I was talking to my buddy who's into horror films too, and I was like, dude, what they should have done is been on the streets and had like 3 different storylines. There were like, one is like somebody who gets trapped out there, somebody who is like, another couple who's maybe they're older or something like, I don't know. It wasn't exactly, but
maybe a mom and daughter.
I was like, you need 2 people that are trapped out there and then like one person that really wants to do it. And I was like, oh, they did it.
They did that. They did that exactly.
It's the logical progression of storylines to follow. Not saying I willed it to existence or
but
anything.
You did.
I did.
Here's what
they had microphones. It was a test audience, and they were like, "Ooh, that's a good idea."
That's actually the Purge 4, is them invading other people's minds on the day. Oh no,
it's Johnny Mnemonic. So when was just real quick? When did you see this for the first time? Was it yesterday?
Last night.
Okay, so you had seen the first one.
I saw the first one, and I thought to myself, that's plenty. I've had enough of the Purge franchise.
Yeah, because the first one doesn't necessarily leave you wanting more.
No, and like again, if they were going to do the same thing in the second one, just with a different family or a different like demographic or a different
glad I turned you on to this then.
Yeah, then I would not have been interested. But this was a super fun movie. I think we're going to talk about the acting in it shortly
because it
was
really
phenomenal.
It's really good acting for a horror thriller.
Yeah, and they're like
for just a standard movie too.
Yeah.
Frank Grillo. Can we just talk about this real quick?
We can, because you're in charge.
If John Bernthal, I never know how to pronounce his name, Mark.
That's his
Is
name.
that how you say it? John Bernthal on Daredevil is an amazing Punisher. But I would say that Frank Grillo could be equally as awesome.
I would cast...
Because he looks more like Frank Castle to me.
I think he should be Jason Bourne.
Oh my God, he'd be awesome.
You know what I mean?
Or like Jason Bourne, like... his rival, like the guy that's coming after him, that like in every Jason Bourne movie where it's the same plot over and over again, but we still love it. But Frank Grillo needs to be in more action movies.
He was so good in this movie. He was the main protagonist. He didn't have a name.
No.
Like, it didn't matter.
They call him Sergeant at one point.
Once. They call him that once.
And that's why this movie is like a throwback to like John Carpenter, Assault on Precinct 13, Escape from New York. It's like that kind of like stoic lead hero that, I dig this movie so much. And I want to get Frank Grillo in more action movies. So we got to think of fans out there, GMP fans, if you're a fan of Frank Grillo, let's think of a clever hashtag to get this guy more work because he's fantastic.
Hashtag Frank Grillo in more movies. I can't. That was just off the cuff.
That was just off the top of your head.
I didn't even prepare that.
He was awesome in Captain America: Winter Soldier, and then the brief little bit he had in Civil War as Crossbones. I was pissed when they killed him in that movie.
I'm deferring to you on this one.
Oh, you didn't see?
No, I did not.
Oh,
no.
You son of a
I saw
bitch.
Purge Anarchy. He was a main character in Purge
So
Anarchy.
good.
Yeah.
So good. Anyways,
but so
now that I'm going to get over my man crush on Frank Grillo because he's a badass.
Well, and the rest of the cast too.
Yeah. God.
So we have 3 people in the show who have carried television, or in the movie that have carried television shows, which I think is really important if you're going to do a sequel like this that only tangentially relates to the first one, and you can't afford. Was Ethan Hawke was in the first one?
Yeah.
If you can't afford movie stars like that, get people who are experienced enough that have carried TV shows and can really like make this dialogue into like a real world, right? So you have Saracen, QB1 from Dillon High School.
I don't know who that is. Can you explain this to me?
Yeah, he played Shane.
Oh, okay. That's where he was from. I didn't know where he was from.
He's from a lot of things, but mainly he was the starting quarterback on the Dillon High School football team.
Friday Night Lights.
On
That's
Friday
what you're
Night
talking
Lights.
I didn't see Friday Night Lights because I'm a jerk.
Well, you know what? I didn't see Winter Soldier, so
Yeah, that's awful to me. I don't understand. Keep going. Who are the other two?
This is where our friendship disintegrates right here.
Disintegrates.
You're watching it live. His wife was the main girl on The Glades.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which is like a deep cut procedural.
Yeah.
On like
And then
one of the basic cable channels.
Chalky White, aka Dude from The Wire.
And Omar from The Wire,
Yeah.
Michael K. Williams.
Michael K. Williams
played
badass.
Spike Lee.
Yeah.
They dressed him like Spike Lee
He played
with the like beret
Spike
and the glasses.
Lee meets Malcolm X.
Yeah.
Meets I love that he just comes in with we'll get to that. All right.
Okay.
So you were impressed by this movie. You dug it.
Oh yeah.
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 Because like I said, it was everything I wanted it to be. So we're gonna do the plot in under 3 minutes because we got to get into some fun sound clips and we're gonna do some more riffs this week and things like that. It's gonna be ridiculous. Let's do the countdown. Oh, whenever you're ready, Mark. I just threw this at you. Oh, you got it. I see you scrolling it. Okay.
I got it. I'm ready.
All right. In 3,
Teamwork.
2, 1. Oh, me? Okay,
Yep,
perfect.
yep.
So we start off, and it's setting up everybody's lives. It's setting up that there's a mother and daughter. She's a waitress. She's not getting. She doesn't have enough money to pay for her dad's medicine anymore. The dad's kind of grumpy. You don't know why yet. You got Frank Grillo's character, aka Sergeant, aka Man with No Name. He's loading up, just armed to the teeth. Then you got the husband and wife, and they're fighting over something that we never really understand what they're fighting for. But
Unclear.
who cares? It's just like and he's like scrolling through photos, like I miss her when she's sitting right there in the driver's seat. Like, what are you looking at? Oh, just photos of us. And they're bummed out, and you can tell that all 5 of these are going to eventually converge into one storyline. They're the creepy dudes with the face paint on.
The
and
couple goes to the
skateboard.
grocery store. The couple goes to the grocery store.
Never stop at the grocery store.
Why? What are you doing?
don't
The
need
Purge
any-
is coming
on
up.
On Purge night, there is no groceries.
All you need is plywood. That's it.
That's it.
So they go to the grocery store, and the creepy people in the mask like threaten them. Right there. Do we have a
Everybody on the
picture?
cover.
Everyone there threatens the couple. We're not sure
Dude
why.
with the creepy like doll face with God written on it.
he has
terrifying.
Well, I mean, I feel like he should have been arrested for intimidating pre-purge,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Anyway, yeah.
But so then their car breaks down and they're stuck outside. They were intending to go to a house.
and
They're
their
stuck
car breaks
outside.
down because it was intentionally sabotaged
It was.
by these guys,
We've-
by God,
Yep.
not real God, but God face, dude.
Yeah. So the mother and daughter are home. The dad who needs medicine says, "I'm going to sleep. That's it." But really,
done.
he sold himself to a
Which
rich
is
white
super
family
fucked up.
to be killed.
Super fucked
fucked up. But so then her neighbor comes
Diego.
in. Diego.
Just swearing up a storm. It's my motherfucking Purge. He's just crazy.
Played by Ben Begley right now in this moment.
But then the SWAT team shows up in this giant semi, blast Diego, grab the 2 girls. Frank Grillo's driving around in his like Mad Max car. It's all armored to the teeth. And then he sees him. He's like, just drive. Just fucking
like, should
drive.
I save him?
Just
Should I
drive."
save him?
And then
I'm
he
not
gets
gonna
out, blah, 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 takes out all the SWAT team dudes. Then he saves them, and and there's a dude with a Gatling gun, what they call Big Daddy.
Yeah.
Just mowing people down.
From the back of the truck.
When the husband and wife happen to stumble upon the car at the same time, get in the back seat, they're all like, get out of the car, get out of the car. They all get in the car. Holy shit, we only have a minute.
They start driving away, and then that car breaks down. So many cars
now they
break
get
down.
Another car from Ava, the mom's friend.
Yep. So they're going there. They're like
lot
making
of
their
shit
way through
happens.
abandoned streets. They have gunfights. Yes.
Yeah.
They make
There's a crazy religious woman with a megaphone.
Yep, she's boy. All
right.
What
happens in
so
the
they
apartment?
make it to the friend's apartment, and then there's an affair going on, an alleged affair, and then
Shootout.
gunfight.
They leave again. Then they get kidnapped immediately by Then they get kidnapped immediately by the here. I'll take it. The Purge people, who it turns out that the guys with the mask and the God thing and everything were hunting people to give to the rich white people, who then in this auction they auction them off.
Omar comes in, saves their lives.
For $2,000.
They go to Sergeant's son's killer's house.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't kill him, and then he's on the verge of being dead.
And then Big Daddy comes back, and then bam, the dude that killed his son in a drunk driving accident kills Big Daddy. They go to the hospital. They're like, it's over. And then 364 days till the next Purge.
Boom.
You saved it. You saved it, because I would have missed that epilogue. I was so focused on getting into the details of the auction.
I've been focused on the epilogue since I saw it.
The epilogue, man.
So bring that epilogue
So that's
in.
the thing. They ground Frank Grillo's character in some real deep shit where, like, you find out not till way later, not till, like, right before the epilogue.
Right.
You find out that his son was killed by a drunk driver.
Well,
he got off on a technicality, and he's going to purge tonight.
He's clearly motivated and he's singularly motivated because we know that he's out on this purge. We know he has
But we know he's not a bad guy.
a trunk full
Clearly.
of guns, but he's saving people along the way. So like he's not purging just to purge like everyone else is. He clearly has a mission, and he needs a car to get to this house. So we know that much.
I think the first thing we should talk about before we get into plot points is the purge itself.
Yes.
Because I love the fact that it says, in fact, let's just play the Purge Begins, because that sums up, in case anyone hasn't seen the Purge Begins clip.
This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual purge sanctioned by the U.S. government.
Sweetheart.
Weapons of class 4
Driving.
and lower have been authorized for use during the purge. All other weapons are restricted. Government officials of ranking 10 have been granted immunity.
Hey, at least they have class 4. What's happening?
Commencing at the
Are we experiencing the purge right now?
All crime, including murder, will be legal for 12 continuous hours. Police, fire, and emergency medical services will be
take the night off.
until tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. when the purge concludes. Blessed be our new founding fathers and America, a nation reborn. May God be with you all.
The creepiest thing about... Oh! I hate that sound. Oh!
That's the sound they make when they're opening jail doors, right?
Oh, it's
Isn't
a
that
nightmare.
Like, here we go.
Because I go to Universal Horror Nights every year, and they've been doing the Purge for a while, and when that happens, that noise just happens, and these dudes with masks just are chasing you. You're like, oh, shit!
Well, that's terrible.
So the thing I think is the most interesting is that it says all crime, including murder, will be legal. What it should say is all crime, pretty much only murder.
I was gonna say that, yeah.
That's all
like just
people
say
do.
murder is legal because like
Nobody...
like people are jaywalking, being like, "What up?
Whatever, jaywalking.
What up, pigs?"
I just think it's funny that, like, because this is clearly, first off, I think the concept is awesome because it's not too far off from the violence of our country, but it's also just far enough that it becomes a satire and more of a science fiction, like, in the not too distant future thing. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, well,
there's enough of an absurdity that you're not like, oh shit.
Like,
okay.
legitimately, all you have to do is go on social media to know that, like, if this were a rule, this is exactly what would happen.
Yeah, because there are people on social media that are threatening to murder each other over DC and Marvel fandom. You know, like people who are like, fuck you! Suicide Squad's the best movie ever made! Captain America's for children! I'll murder you! And
Except
it's like,
they don't say that, they just type it.
And they do. And they just
because that's
all caps and
because
usually
that's all they're allowed
really
to
poor
do.
grammar.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. So, like, do you think that if people were given free reign that they would go, like, what would you do on Purge night?
I would find, like, so...
Like, let's say you, like, first off, I obviously would hide, but let's say hiding,
100%.
let's say hiding wasn't the option. I would 100% hide, lock my doors, get the fuck out of any major city, because, like, what's happening in, like, farm towns?
Well,
is there purges in farm towns
I mean,
where you have
yes,
to drive, like, 5 miles?
but they just, they have a lot
I'm
further to
coming
go.
to Purge!
I would totally go to either one of the, if I was stuck in a city, I would, so... At one point, they like checked a dumpster, and they were like, "Let's hide in a dumpster." There's a dead person in a dumpster, and they were like, "All right, fuck dumpsters." That's it. But that's what I would do. I would go somewhere where like no one is lifting stuff up. People assume they're hiding in houses. So they're trying to get into houses, or they're just looking for people live on the street.
I guess I should say, how would you survive the purge? Because clearly neither one of us would go around murdering.
I would
people
not
because
purge.
We're not. I would not purge.
Yeah.
So your survival tactic would be hiding in dumpsters?
Hiding somewhere like in plain sight, but hidden, because
Okay.
I think that's the last place people would look. They might
can see
happen
that.
upon you accidentally. So I would have a gun and I would be like in there ready with it cocked
Yeah.
if in case the
Yeah,
top
yeah,
got
so
lifted.
you'd
I
be
would
survival.
I wouldn't be inside. I would
Man.
not be in my home.
I think I would just drive out of the city and get to either
if you can, yeah.
If you can't though, oh yeah, that's what we're saying. We're stuck in the city.
Yeah.
Oh shit. I think I would be on a rooftop where I had full. But then what if there's a sniper on another roof?
See,
This is too stressful.
Real quick. Is there? So the Purge only happens in America.
yeah.
Out of the country.
They set that up in the Purge 3 where there's murder tourists, which by the way, the Purge election year is awesome. And they're these German kids coming over with like, we love America, we're going to murder the tourists. That's
So
a
yeah,
terrible.
just fly out of the country or be on an international flight.
There you
when
go.
When
But-
it starts.
But
Right.
what if you can't leave the city,
Yeah.
Mark? What if you can't
So-
leave?
Days ahead.
But here's
But no,
my thing.
what if you can't leave? What's your survival tactic?
But so-
I would hollow out a tree and build a fort in it so that people would just go, "Oh, that's a tree.
That's a tree."
Nope, it's my Purge. It's my Purge.
So-
shack."
Actually, you know what?
You're a Keebler elf.
Going up and
Would
like
you make
Yeah.
cookies?
going
Yeah,
into
right,
like
keep
going into like a park and hiding in a tree may not be a bad idea because clearly no one's going to like parks.
How ironic would that be if you did that and then like a bear ate you? You're like, God damn it!
Be so
the
shitty.
bears are purging right now. This
Even
is the
bears
worst.
are purging.
So
This is the
that's where
worst.
some of the shitty purgers would be like drinking in public. Like, "Oh, you can't get me on this one."
Yeah, and I guess that's why nothing other than murder happens because anybody who would do petty crimes is like, fuck that, people are murdering tonight. I'm not gonna go loot a store.
Well, it is, if I'm not mistaken, it is illegal to be in a park after dark. So
There you go.
right there,
There
you're
you go.
purging.
You're purging.
You're purging
In the third
just
one,
by that act.
In the third one, they come in these crazy girls that come out to the slow motion Miley Cyrus Party in the USA, which is a fantastic moment. And they come out with these like
gonna say song.
They come
Fantastic
out
song.
with these like neon Statue of Liberty creepy masks on. They try and rob the store and kill the store owner. So there was a little bit more than murder.
Here's the thing
Mm-hmm.
about the masks.
They're awesome.
They're awesome. Are you required to wear them?
I think they do that for anonymity, except for the crazy Christian woman.
Right,
Oh,
her?
we gotta play her. Let's
Her?
just play her
Okay.
real quick. So this is when they're walking around after their car broke down and they're trying to find Ava's friend's house where there's going to be another car supposedly, and there's this crazy kind of just bizarre fundamentalist woman, kind of like the people that stand out. Excuse me, at Comic-Cons or
She's
or
given you
large-
pamphlets before.
yeah,
You know this woman.
yeah, this is what the person with the signs that say you're all going to hell. God punishes all of you because he hates you. This is what this person would do on Purge night. Can we play? Oh shit, what's it called? It's called.
Is it I Am the Holy Trinity?
I am the Holy
That's the
Trinity.
one.
There you go, Mark.
I am a one-woman fucking blank, and you're all in my path. I am the Holy Trinity. I am the Holy Trinity. I am the Holy Trinity. I am the fatherfucker, son of a bitch, and holy shit.
Wait. I am the fucker, son of a bitch, and holy fucking shit. Is that what you
That's the Trinity. I don't know if you're aware of this
Man.
in modern times.
said?
That's
I
the
don't
new
know.
Trinity.
Maybe she isn't super religious because I don't think God would really.
She's
really taken liberty with the whole Father, Son, and Holy.
I mean,
Ghost.
as has everyone, I think.
Yeah,
like
that's a good point.
the masked guy has God written on his face. He's clearly not God.
Everybody clearly just
But they've all taken some liberties. She's an obsessive,
Yeah.
which I think is pretty obvious. She's decided on Purge night to not only be by herself, but to call as much attention to herself
Yeah.
as she can, which I think is a mistake, as we've
Yeah,
gone
yeah.
over.
See, but what's interesting is that like I've used a similar like rant before when trying to we've both done comedy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And sometimes comedians backstage, they can just kind of like, it's like a joke masturbation fest where it's like, who can be the funniest? And I decided one night before a show just to be like, who can be the fucking scariest?
Yeah.
And I came in and they were all going around doing their jokes. And then it came to me and I just stared at the whole group and I went, I'm the Holy Trinity. Mark, where are you?
I'm a one-woman
I thought you were just
fucking
aggressively
blank,
pointing
and you're
at them.
all in my path.
Wait, I didn't have a gun
I
though.
am the Holy Trinity. I am the Holy Trinity. I am the Holy Trinity. I am the fatherfucker, son of a bitch, and holy shit.
I'm the fatherfucker. I'm none of those things though.
Do you know what's crazy though? Like I was starting a new job a couple of weeks ago and like a bunch of us were there for orientation and we were just like sitting waiting for the boss to come out. Like there was no one there. We had our notebooks ready. We were ready to jot down any relevant notes. and she just like busted through the door with a machine gun in the air.
Quiznos.
Yeah, at Quiznos, as we call it.
Sorry.
Emphasis on the we.
Quiznos.
Because we are a team.
Yes.
She just came into the room with a machine gun pointed in the air, screaming at us.
I am a one-woman fucking plague, and you're all in my path. I am the Holy Trinity. I am the Holy Trinity and the Holy Trinity. I am the motherfucker son of a bitch, and holy shit. God.
I don't think I can listen to that another time.
Well, we went straight to HR. That's not appropriate for Quiznos.
Quiznos does not put up with the fatherfucker son of a bitch. Holy shit!
I wouldn't if I were
the holy shit
place.
I could deal with, but everything else, it's just it's after I eat Quiznos. Holy shit! Anyways, so
they're toasted. The subs are toasted.
One of my favorite first sound quotes. So we gave you the plot, so we're just gonna hit like our favorite moments because it's a pretty simple plot, but clearly we both enjoy this movie. And if you haven't seen it, if any of you were burned by the first film and left kind of feeling
it's way different.
It's so awesome.
It's way different. It's
really
much better.
fun. And a Purge election year. This may get political, but it is 100% a satire on Hillary versus Donald Trump. Whatever you believe there is fine, but the movie is clearly about that. And just it gets even more politically crazy than this one. And they have like it's pretty clear that it's the NRA that's now a ruling power instead of the Republicans. Like it's gone crazy. The NFFA in the third one. I highly recommend both these for just grindhouse, awesome, fun times.
We go a little bit into the government into this one. We see the government is controlling
where that's a big thing where the government is mowing down because they're saying people aren't killing enough.
Right.
So we're going in there and kind of
which I think should just be okay, right? Shouldn't the government just be like, oh, okay, like this was to get the killing out, but if people don't want to kill, then that's fine.
That's it. The underlying message that everybody says is the purge isn't actually to get out the aggression; it's to get rid of the poor, so that the rich don't have to worry about them. They don't have to pay for them anymore.
Right.
That's the underlying.
I'm taking the side of like people involved being like, right, this is, but that's fine, right?
You're taking the side of if it was a logical government that made the purge.
Yeah, this is the side that I would take.
As if it was like, hey, this is we're just Democrats. We're gonna make a purge this year.
Like this is probably fine that no one's killing themselves.
Libertarians came up with the purge.
Like, we don't have to involve ourselves in this. We should just be at home, safe.
No. Yeah, that's the whole underlying. If you haven't seen the movie, the whole underlying thing is that the upper class is basically feeding on the poor, which isn't too far from what's happening in our current economic. But I don't want to get too crazy. I don't want to get on a soapbox here. One of my favorite first sound clips, though, is when the guy with the mask on the face paint on the skateboard scares the shit out of the married couple.
Yeah.
There's a dude with like this really weird kind of Commedia dell'arte mask with like a giant nose, and he makes this guttural scream in slow motion that's just terrifying. Can we play the guttural scream?
So that sounds a little just like noise, but
in context,
it was terrifying.
In context,
yeah,
because there's a lot going on.
Yeah,
but I recently there's some days that I'll go like vegan and I'll try and eat like more veggies.
Just some days.
Just every once in a while.
You're vegan
like,
on Wednesdays.
No. Like I just try and like cut back on my red meat intake or whatever. But sometimes my body isn't used to that many veggies.
Yeah.
And it just tears up my stomach, and my stomach it's kind of hurting by the end of the night. I'm still hungry, but I'm like, I don't want to eat a steak today. I just had one yesterday, and I just look in my fridge because there's nothing to eat, and I go. That's what I do.
I mean, I understand that 100%. I would like sometimes when I have to get up super early and I set my alarm, and then I wake up and I put it on snooze, and then I wake up and put it on snooze, and I wake up and I look, and the time is when I should have left already.
Oh, yeah.
I look at my clock and I'm like,
I like that.
One time I adopted, we were fostering a pet lion.
Yeah.
And
I remember that.
Lions are typically not domestic, so we were keeping it outside, and every time I'd poke my head out, the lion would look at me and go.
There was, when I met Jason Statham once, I know we talked about him a lot last week with Death Race. I met him once, and I brought up the pet white tiger that he supposedly walks on the beach, and apparently it's a sore spot for him because he wasn't able to keep it, with like animal rules and stuff like that, so he had to ship it back to wherever white tigers come from, and the Serengeti, and I brought it up, and he just got super pissed, and he just turned to me and went, which I thought was awesome. I just thought he was giving me like something for the fans.
Classic
like,
Statham.
I didn't even think he was mad. I just thought he was doing like a Crank 2 impression or something.
Which he may have. Like, he may not have been listening to you at all.
He just didn't.
You know what? Like, last week when you were in San Francisco and I came to the studio and it was empty and I looked around, I just like started throwing my hands up against the wall, and I was just like.
I hear a lot of people that were very excited about the new the Rams. Is that what the LA Rams?
Yeah,
yeah. I hear
good pull.
They were really excited, and then the game happened, and it was a travesty and really embarrassing.
Yeah.
And you know how LA fans are. They're cool when you're winning, but when you're losing, they're just like. I think we milked this one for everything we can.
Yeah.
We're gonna move on from that one. But the oh god, I just want that I want that to be my text tone. Whenever somebody I don't like texts me, it'll be like, duh, but I don't know, that may make it worse.
Can you categorize in your phone people you don't like?
Well,
do you have a subcategory of that?
I used to have a person that said like don't pick up or like douchebag don't pick up, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So just the one person.
Then I just deleted him from my phone. I was like, that's probably easier.
That's the smarter move.
But so we already did the Purge beginning, and that just right when that happens, you're like, I'm tense for the rest of the movie because it happens like 20 minutes in, and you have an hour and 20 minutes of them in the Purge. They're wandering around. The first thing that's crazy that happens is when Diego busts into Ava and Callie's house.
So
and on his mind is more than murder.
Yeah, he's not. I don't think he's gonna murder right away.
He's gonna do something awful first that we don't need to. Yeah, it's pretty clear
himself.
Yeah, but can we play Diego's line "My night to purge" because he gets very amped up. I think he's been purging with some illegal narcotics first. Can we play?
It's my night to motherfucking purge. My fucking time.
And you know, I get it because I went on a cleanse once, and everybody was like, you shouldn't do this cleanse, it's stupid, you're gonna be like, your body's fine, it purges stuff already. And I was like, no it doesn't, I'm gonna do this cleanse for this week, and I'm gonna start tonight because
it's my night to motherfucking purge. My fucking time.
And everybody just left me alone, and then I only did the thing for like a day because I got real hungry.
Well, clearly you were upset in
3 hours
in the moment.
I was real hangry.
This was your vegan day?
You think that was angry? I got more hangry. Yeah, that was my vegan day.
So you know what's crazy? Like a bunch of my friends were going out, and they were like giving me all of their like chapstick and like
when that happens,
like,
I hate that.
All that stuff, and then I was like super psyched to be the one that like was looking over the stuff, like a sack or like a purse, for instance. And then one of my friends took all the stuff, and they were like, "I'm gonna be the purse tonight." And I looked at him, and I was like,
"It's my night, the motherfucking purge."
It sounds like purse.
Sounds a lot like purse.
It's my night, the motherfucking purse.
No one uses purse as a verb. I'm the only one. It's confusing.
We were doing that last week. We were using a lot of things that weren't verbs to verb. That's this character of Diego. He's clearly gonna do that when they first set him up. He's like, "Come on, mama, come on. You want me to protect you?" I'm like, "You're not gonna protect her at all."
Well, she like runs. Everyone she runs into is like that. Like he's the third person that's like, "Hey man, let me watch after you. Let me drive you home. Here's a gun. Let me Everyone is trying to protect this woman, and she's just like, no. But he's the most aggressive about it.
He just wants the motherfucking purge.
Yeah,
and then he hears something and he's like, "You want to come get me, motherfuckers?" And it's the best because he gets like super like a rooster, like amped up, like, "I'm gonna fucking kick your ass," and then like shot 400 times.
Yeah, wear a vest during the purge.
That's
my advice.
That's just the first rule.
God.
But apparently the armor doesn't really do any good because the tactical guys that are taking Ava, so then Ava and Callie get dragged out of their apartments by these government tactical units. You don't know their government yet. It's kind of clear. But they drag them out, and Frank Grillo comes up and just blasts all of them. So I don't know if they were just wearing like plastic, like stormtrooper outfits, or was it?
Yeah, because he gets them each with one shot. It's not like he's mowing them down like the guy in the back of the truck.
He hits him with a couple shots.
A couple, but like if you're wearing a vest, like
they call him
be
sergeant,
okay.
so maybe he's just like tactical in that way, where he can hit like vital. Because they're not fully covered. Maybe he hits one like in the armpit.
This is why I said he should be Jason Bourne, because he
can evade all.
It was seamless.
You know what it is? No, I just figured it out. Those smart sons of bitches. He talks about armor-piercing bullets. That's what he had. Because he said they had armor-piercing bullets. That's why his car got fucked up. So he probably had armor-piercing bullets as well.
That makes sense.
I'm just going to say it. Because I don't believe in plot holes in this movie, because it's awesome.
Only bullet holes.
Only bullet holes.
Those are the only kinds of holes, folks.
So then, Big Daddy, they reveal in this semi-truck, this dude with a Gatling gun. He's just mowing people down, and Frank Grillo shoots. He shoots everybody else dead, but shoots him just in the cheek.
Grazes his cheek. He was like, smile more.
Come on, Sergeant.
That would have been a nice
Smile. Smile for me.
It's time for you to smile for me.
like a weird cat call.
Yeah.
Smile for me, Big Daddy. So he maybe should have double checked Big Daddy was dead because but then we wouldn't have that
There's
awesome
a lot
showdown.
going on. I don't blame him. Like,
I don't
it's
blame
chaotic.
him. He's saving the two. He didn't even want to do this.
He's got strangers in his car now.
Tons of stuff.
Yeah.
So then Big Daddy lights up his car. They're broke down. They end up seeing the religious lady. I am the Holy Trinity. They run into, he gets caught in like a bear trap or something, Shane, and he
Poor
gets
Shane.
dragged along.
I just want to pour one out for Shane. Because,
know,
like,
right?
the 5 of them
He gets
are
fucked the whole-
unscathed, except Shane gets caught in a trap. He gets a through and through bullet through his shoulder.
And
And
then
then he's the only one that gets lit up during, like, the Purge.
Yeah. Right
game
after him and
that
his
they're
wife,
playing.
Liz, are like, I love you too.
Yeah.
It was brutal.
It was tough.
And
It
you
was
can
tough to
tell they're
see.
married in real life because she reacts really, like, legit to that.
Well, I mean,
Super
it was
sad.
visceral.
It's very visceral. So then first off, Sergeant is such a badass. Let me make sure. Oh, we're good on time, so we have 13 minutes. Sergeant's a badass, aka Frank Grillo, walking around. They're trying to get his name. They do that thing that I love. I love that they did this because I always find that funny in horror films and stuff, or in movies like this when they never really introduce themselves. There's a moment where they call it out and they're like, hey, we never got each other's names. And it's so funny, but also so human where, like, that would happen in that moment. But
Yeah.
I love that they call that out because so many movies just go by and it's like, how did they they don't know each other.
Well,
they never.
It was a human moment
Yeah,
in the
it was-
Purge.
it was
Like,
a
that's what
human
I'm saying.
moment.
The Purge really grounded
It
itself.
does ground it. So then Frank, Callie goes up to Frank and tries to get some info out of him. And can we play the pain in my ass clip?
You're good with guns. I'm guessing you're either a cop or a criminal, huh?
And I'm guessing you're either a pain in my ass or a pain in my ass.
It's pretty badass.
Those are the two options.
I mean, it's got to be one of them, right?
one of the two.
It can't be.
You choose.
Or both.
A or B.
You're either a pain in my ass or a pain in my ass.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what's crazy? I was riding a horse.
Yeah.
Or I was on a horse farm and everyone else was riding horses and I happened to be riding a donkey.
Yeah.
And I sat down on the donkey and there was like a tack
Oh.
and it like pricked me and I looked down at the tack
And you said,
sitting on the
I'm guessing
donkey.
you're either a pain in my ass or a pain in my ass.
That was quick. I thought I was going to have to say it. That was good, Mark. Because I get it.
It's me now.
It was either. Oh, hey!
Hey!
It was. Everybody keeps switching. It's so weird. So I guess it was either.
Did the Purge happen
the,
outside?
the
We murdered him.
Thanks for the heads
I
up.
walked into the booth,
Oh,
I looked
man.
at Mark, and, he wasn't doing such a good job, so I looked at him, I said,
And I'm guessing you're either a pain in my ass or a pain in my ass.
so I took his place.
From the top rope.
One time I went in. I was gonna make a hemorrhoid joke.
Do it. Do
All
it.
right, so
Now
I
is the
went in-
time and place.
You go to the doctors, having some
I've been
pain.
there. Yeah, I've been there.
And he's like, and I think he got me confused because I was just having some like muscle pain, and he got me confused with someone who had hemorrhoids there. And he came in and he was just like, well, I looked at your file, and
And I'm guessing you're either a pain in my ass or a pain in my ass.
I was like, no, I don't have a pain in my ass. It's in my leg near my ass, like my butt cheek,
It's tough to trust a doctor
Yeah.
after he gives you that sort of diagnosis.
because it's not very thorough.
It's not thorough. It's not appropriate.
It's not even Henry David Thoreau.
And, hey, it's not even
Nerdy theater
It's not
reference.
even Justin Thoreau. Do I get? It's not. let me try again. It's not even Justin Thoreau.
Purge. They just purged that joke. Oh
I'm
man.
guessing you're either a pain in my ass or a pain in my ass.
I think that's what my wife thinks of me most of the time, but it's all right.
Wow.
It's all right. So then
Ooh,
there's
revealing things.
there's
here.
a stockbroker chained up that,
Yeah.
and they're like, well, I guess he kind of deserved it, and it's like,
I mean, no one really deserves that.
nobody really deserves it. Well,
Some people, but
maybe.
Yeah,
I don't
not
know.
a stockbroker.
So then they're hiding around the corner, and this is where there's all this craziness going on. Every corner they turn around, there's like more crazy murders happening. We didn't even talk about when they set up the Purge. I forgot. Where like there's the slow motion dudes on the bus with all the machine guns, and they're like all shirtless with creepy tattoos, going like, "We're gonna fucking purge."
Yeah.
I kind of wish they ran into them.
One of them had like the fire thing.
Yeah,
that
flamethrower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if I were purging, I would flame a building. Like rather than like try and get into the building and like
Yeah.
one-on-one kill someone, I just burn the building.
Yeah,
down.
I mean, yeah, if you're gonna murder somebody,
Right. That's if
This
I
guy.
was.
So here's the thing. That's the one thing that bummed me out is I thought they were gonna like come across those dudes later on because they are so awesome and like creepy, and maybe they do, and it's just so dark I couldn't tell. But like you don't see them again, and then they set up all these just like people with like these crazy dogs and stuff. It's just like I love the setup of the Purge, and then how around every corner there's danger.
Yeah.
And then the woman gets Liz gets the rat that crawls on her, and it's like, woo! Somehow I don't think in that moment you would scream at a rat.
I don't know. Like I've found that to be kind of relatable. Like because a lot of times in that sort of situation, like people are unflappable, and I'm like, I would not be.
Yeah,
I would be like,
that's a good point.
Any sort of like sound or touch or anything would freak the shit out of me, and I would let loose.
You're right. So if a rat crawled up your leg and there were dudes with guns around the corner, you'd be the one that screamed and endangered everyone.
Because you wouldn't like assume. Like I bet she's not screaming at the rat. Oh, she's just screaming at that. Like there's touch.
She thought it was somebody like
and
like hiding in a dumpster where you would be.
That's where I would be.
Damn it!
It would have been me.
You win. You win that. So then when I gotta get out of here in 8 minutes. Perfect. So when we go to Tanya's place, we think you can tell from the beginning there's something weird there.
There's something going on.
But I like that I feel like it's a misdirect. I thought it was the dude in the camo because when he comes in, they make a big point to be like, don't worry about him. He's a nice guy. He just thought it'd be cool to purge.
What a dick, by the way. Like, it would be cool to I'm going to go try purging.
And he's like
don't go out there unless you're going to, like, fucking purge.
Yeah, like, I chickened up, man. And that's why I was like, I don't trust him. And then it comes out of left field. Were you expecting it to be the sister?
I wasn't expecting it right away, but, like, she was acting so, like, weird.
Well, Tanya was. But Tanya was taking the pills and drinking the... I thought she sold them out to the government. And I thought the government was going to show up.
But like the two of them, there was obvious conflict between the two of them.
When she's like, listen, bitch, whatever.
Like real passive aggressive. Yeah. Whoa. Uncomfortable. Now is not the time.
And then she just comes in blasting away.
Yep.
Kills her sister, which was one of the biggest plot holes in the first movie for me. I don't know if you remember the boyfriend's over there, and he's like, your dad doesn't like me. And it's like his solution was to purge that night and shoot her dad. Like that would win her over.
And like as if 7 a.m. is going to roll around and everyone's going to be like, well, wipe our hands clean. All right, like you're not going to jail, but you still killed my dad. So.
Yeah, he proposes and they just start planning the wedding. That was a big thing in the first one. Aw, it's okay, you love me. So she blasts her sister. They get out of that situation, and they're about to escape again because the government's showing up in the building, and then they get caught by the dudes with the paint and the god mask, and you find out that they're selling. They're not even purging.
No,
they're just
making money.
They're gathering up the poor and your needy.
It's kind of smart. Like
it's smart. They're entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's...
They went on Shark Tank, and they were like,
hey, guys,
I got a business idea.
I got a purge idea for you.
Mark Cuban was like, I'm in.
So then they get to the auction, right? And we have this hilarious old lady who's auctioning them off, and there's this clip where she goes into this, like, orgasmic description of a gun.
Before we play it,
yes.
I just want to point out, we've talked a lot about how great the acting is in this movie. This moment felt like an old woman was given a description of a gun, and she was like, I don't know what these words mean. I'm just going to say them. Yeah. That's what it sounded like.
I'm going to say them as if I'm talking about a delicious soup that or something. She describes it like food almost, or sexual.
She describes it like a dick.
Okay, like a dick. Here we go. An old woman describing a gun like a dick. Gun nut. Here we go. Ready?
Oh, and one last reminder. The weapons rack is stocked with the latest and the greatest. And my personal favorite is the Mauser Elite SSX double barrel. It has a delicate trigger and the smoothest discharge.
Oh, God.
It is so precise. It's as if God handcrafted it himself.
And not to get too reading into things, but as she's saying discharge or one of those lines, there's a woman who clutches her pearl necklace like, ooh. And I don't know if that was intentional, but it seems very sexual.
They have all fucked that gun.
Delicate trigger and smoothest discharge.
And
this smoothest discharge should be outlawed. Like that can only be said during the purge.
This woman looks like a glammed up Paula D, right? And then there's like a family in there that looks like Trump's son. And then there's like, it's like all, I love that they're all like super rich white people.
Yeah, there's like the plastic lips lady.
Yeah, plastic lips lady.
Yeah.
And then they show one rich black person. The rest are all like rich white people, but they're like, just, you know.
we need to spice this up a little bit.
Maybe because they're probably like, well, if rich white people come to this movie and we're clearly just saying it's them, even though it pretty much is, then, you know, they'll be upset by the political satire we're making. So we'll throw one in there so it's like,
just get one in.
Don't worry about it.
Is that better or worse just to have one?
Worse,
I think.
Worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, worse. It's like when you're like, yeah, I got friends that are, and then you have one, and you're like, oh god, one. I'm a jerk.
They're like not even your friend.
Yeah,
it's just like they're in your phone as don't return.
Doesn't that happen
text.
in a movie sometimes? I forget what movie that was. Anyways, so back to this. So they get auctioned off, and it's $200,000, and like the Trump twins, the Hilton sisters, who are like twins with machetes.
Yeah.
They all have night vision goggles. The Trump twins have machine guns. Forgive me if you're offended by that. I don't care. Anyways, and then the machine gun or the machete twins. And then there's like a few other. I didn't even realize that there were other people being purged other than our five cast, because they show it for a second. There's like 2 or 3 other like homeless people
that just get blown away right in the beginning. Yeah.
Because at first I was like, are the purgers shooting each other? But then I'm like, oh no, there were like 2 other people.
I guess.
Frank Grillo, aka Sergeant, just mows down, and then they're all freaking out, and he shoots the glass where
which is great.
Paula D
I think that was
is
my
sitting
favorite
up there,
moment.
and they're like, oh!
Like, he shoots the bulletproof glass, just like.
Then who comes in Deus Ex Machina style to save the day? Michael K. Williams, aka Carmela Jones, aka Chalky White,
aka Omar.
aka Omar. And what does he say? Can we play Fuck the Purge?
Fuck the new founding fathers! Fuck you! Fuck your money! And motherfuck the Purge!
Oh man.
Yeah.
See, I think that's just such a badass moment, and then they just mow down all these, because they send in the catering staff, it looks like, after all the purgers have
SEAL
been killed.
Team 6
SEAL
is
Team
like
6 is
serving hors d'oeuvres at this event.
It's
like,
amazing.
what the fuck was that?
They come in with their machine gun, because it's awesome, because I'd rather them do that than have a whole team that you hadn't seen before. I think it's such a funny reveal. Because it makes it that B-movie grindhouse awesomeness where the catering staff is even like trained, just military people. And they just mow them down, and then poor Shane, like you said, gets wasted.
Ah, poor guy.
And then Liz is like, I want to purge, and she stays behind.
Ben, did I ever tell you about when I worked at an eating disorder facility?
Oh, no, I read about this, though, online. You had a blog.
I did it in West Hollywood. There was a lot of rich people. It was really freaking annoying because they'd always feel like they could pay me to report that they weren't actually having an eating disorder.
Yeah.
Really annoying, court-ordered stuff. So,
Super
you know what,
annoying.
we tried to use scare tactics.
Yep.
So, you know what, every time we'd have our first meeting, we'd have somebody else speaking, and then it'd be my job to come in right at the end of the meeting and
motherfuck the Purge!
It scared them. They started eating. They have PTSD, but it's better than having bulimia.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that maybe your tactics were a little harsh, but I get it. Mm-hmm. I think some people may not have seen the second movie because after the first one they were like,
and motherfuck the Purge!
And then if you watch this movie, it makes you want to go back and watch the first one and go, hey, it's actually awesome. Yeah, they're all awesome.
It has a delicate trigger and smoothest discharge.
I can't even do an improv round with that because it sounds like your grandma saying that. It's so weird.
Do you know what, like, people use the word discharge to describe different things, obviously, but like when I was working at Quiznos for that hour, they passed out samples, and like the sample that they gave me had like way too much ranch sauce on it. Like way too much. And I took a bite out of one end and the ranch came splurting out of the other end, and I looked at it and I was like,
it has a delicate trigger and smoothest discharge.
Oh God. I'm gonna leave it on that one. So then basically we already talked about how he doesn't kill the guy who killed his son, and he has that redeeming moment, because if he murdered the dude in front of his wife with his kids in the home, that would make Sergeant a bad guy.
That was like
but he doesn't.
It was a great like just a cathartic moment when he was in, because like
he's about to do it, and the
like,
guy realizes he like fucked up and all the pain that he's caused Sergeant. Yeah. And then it cuts away to a scream, and you're like, what happened? And he comes out and he looks relieved, like, I just murdered that dude. And they don't reveal it until Big Daddy comes in, blasts Sergeant twice, about to do the kill shot, then and then drunk driver dude helps save the day. Yeah. Surprisingly really good sober driver. You know, he gets him to the hospital, saves his life. and then we're on to Purge another year.
I mean, we think he's sober. We don't know what he was doing.
He
was sleeping through the Purge, so he might have had a few.
I would
he might have downed a few.
This has been the Purge Anarchy this week. Oh my goodness! Can you first off, can we play the "Fuck the Purge" one more time just because it's so badass?
Motherfuck the Purge!
God, I love that. Chalky White. So creepy. Jesse, where can they find you?
Once again, at Too Much Jesse on Twitter, 86 Charles the podcast that I may or may not contribute to.
Right.
Flappers tonight at 8 o'clock.
I'm at the Ben Begley. At Guilty Movie Guys is the Twitter for this show. At Funhouse Mass for the Funhouse Massacre, the movie my wife and I wrote. In Redbox, Amazon, all that good stuff. Netflix disc, if you still have that. Some people do. He does.
I do.
Anyways, until next time, we're going to be back next week. We don't know with what yet, but it's going to be something awesome. I promise.
The Danish girl.
And please, the Danish girl. And please, whatever you do between now and then, don't purge. Motherfuck the Purge, all right? But go see the Purge Anarchy and the Purge election year, because they're both solid flicks. And I think that's all we have to say until, what is your guilty movie pleasure?
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, Christian Harloff, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
And motherfuck the Purge!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only, and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.